Like United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jen, yeah. Amy?
Yeah.
Ed?
So the repair has been quoted. The Tunnel Vision is a company that we've worked with in the past and has a good reputation for doing this work. There's kind of up and down. There's a lot of folks that do it. You get to do it, you know, at a better quality than some. So it's kind of type of emergency situation. So what they're proposing, they call cast in place pipe. It's actually, when it goes into the pipe, looks like just like a fabric sock. That's the size of the pipe. It's actually a fiberglass resin impregnated fabric. They pull it into the pipe, it gets inflated, and then they're able to cure, that fiberglass. But once it's cured, it's a rigid pipe, back to the structural, replacement inside. So pretty low, and it's an uninvasive repair. You go and cut off the replacement. Being that the sewer is along two, very wet. So this is- might sound expensive to you, but it is the more cost effective way to address this issue. So their base price on this, to line 395 feet of sewer, which is the section that has the issue, is $59,475. But I'd like to point out that under that scenario, they're gonna count on the village to coordinate bypass pumping. So when they do this work, they're actually gonna have to stop the sewer flow in the manhole and pump it to a downstream location, because that pipe is completely free to flow while they're doing this line. So that bypass pumping is not included in that $59,475 price. Traffic control is also not included. If it's on an MDOT road, traffic control is required. Overclosure, especially for this work. So that's your base price with all those items. They will do those items. The price goes up to $71,370. $71,300. What they're referring to is that $9,750. They intend to come to the site and what you've got listed here, the item called a wet patch. When the camera went down that sewer line, there's actually a point near the end of it where the pipe drops a little bit and the slope changes. So that wet patch, they're gonna pull a short section of that cast in place pipe through that area to make the transition better when they pull run through. So what they're saying is that mobilization covers them doing both of those tasks on the same mobilization. If for some reason they did the wet patch and they had to come back to do the lining, there'd be additional. And that mobilization included in both. Be coordinated and make sure they can complete the work. They're actually gonna have to line a short section of it first. Probably so they say actually 4 foot long. So that will actually just create a better transition at that. It's really a tight transition. They feel that you can the product itself has a 50 to 70-year lifespan. So it's kind of like any PVC pipe.
They did beautiful blocks in the year before.
Yep.
And it's still in business. I stuff in
Did a section right here on this one too.
right now.
Question, real question is, are you independent? Or
Well, I don't know.
Well, it'd be cheaper, Bob Curtis helps you bypass, and you got traffic control, give them brakes, but. You know, more than for. Good. Water filtration. Not sure. Pretty close. Yep.
Give me a roll call. Bill, Ken?
Yep.
Ken, yeah.
Talking well. You're well. That kind of situation. And, no, that.
from our discussions with, planning consultant, planning commission is required to do a public hearing. Council can do a public hearing if you want to, but it's not required by the enabling act. And, you know, with, how all the comments that we addressed during the public hearing, seems we could, potentially just see if the new zoning ordinance, adequately addressed the comments that were at the public hearing. And, we could decide to approve without doing a public hearing. And some of that also is just the timeline with the new development and the importance of getting the new zoning ordinance in place, especially ahead of the charrette, is really important. Because in the new zoning ordinance update, we added a provision that would allow the charrette to be a preliminary review for the development. And I just think the charrette process by the State Land Bank Authority and Grand Traverse Regional Land Conservancy will be thorough and robust enough and better than anything we could do as council level. So I think it'd be great to officially approve that charrette process as we review the development.
And because again,
Yeah, it's definitely like at that meeting, if there's significant, more conversation or a bunch of decide postpone it and do a public hearing. So that just gives us the option at that point.
take notes, I don't know anyone to be here. We have a new, station.
Management Council for the Betsy Valley Trail met on Tuesday, July 7th. And so some of the items that we discussed were the Crystal Lake Access Improvement Project, which is set to start early August with dock construction and a vault toilet. There should be minimal disruption to the trail, even though it does have to be relocated somewhat. There'll be a nice addition. They're going to improve the parking and also the access, plus put in a kayak launch there at Crystal Lake. So that's at the Molyneux Road crossing. We heard reports from the trail care coordinator. There was some discussion about mitigating the poison ivy, which we have a fair amount of it on our part of the trail. Apparently they don't do active like broadcast application of poison or whatever in those situations. So they are in discussion with the DNR on how best to handle that. signage especially, which we've had there in the past. Like, I guess primarily making people aware of it and warning to stay away from it. There, the Friends of the Betsy Valley Trail, gave a report. And also, there was a meeting of the Friends Board that evening, which I attended, and, they were primarily talking about, fundraising and, volunteers for, representation at some of the art fairs. They also Kevin handed out a proposal, illustration, that Johnson Hill had mapped the trail. This was a while ago. You guys may have seen that. I didn't bring it with me. It's just a proposal, routing the trail from, the crossing at M22, around the pumping station and along the road, to a point just past the, marina, and then cutting back down, near the bay and connecting to the life-saving station trails there. And, you know, as we know, there'll be a meeting on September 22nd, I believe, about, the charrette, to have a charrette, we get public input in regards to that. There was a trail application for a Betsy Valley Trail Run on September 26th. And also there were representatives from the Benzie Manistee Snowbirds that maintain the, snowmobile trails. Primarily, they were actually, just offering their help in maintaining the trail. Equipment that they have that, would be very helpful, and also manpower. And that was about it. There was some discussion about flooding around the railroad point, trail area. Where the Betsy Valley Trail and the railroad point come together, there was some erosion apparently. And, so there was some discussion about that as far as Crystal Lake water levels and such. And that is about it. So
She wanted to clarify. Not a whole. So that's one of the things that I worked on. Back to the garden. That's the, township study, the village study. This is the first time, and from a accounting software, BSNA, I worked with BSNA .NET for a long time. So this was new, and I did my first group today, and it all worked out perfectly, no trouble. A little bit of help from Jen, navigating some of the computer stuff, but we got through that. I continue to accept the public and station calls myself, trying to help with that, and, continue to do the
Thank you for the work here. Oh. We've gotten better this year. Ever since the snow was no longer on the ground, no ice. We've done a much better job of getting after feeding from the field. That's been what's done. On.
the interview. Aaron and we on. We're still working on the tree ordinance. And. We have the, we're still working on the media and social media. Everybody, what we did this morning at 8:30 a.m.
30 a.m. We listened to some of them. We got another bill coming up, $51.
Hey, a little bit.
Anyway. System is pretty well all set up, it's just really, they have to get some more concrete board, more than that, or so they can unload better. This new function there, is that it was only for, I don't know, 35 years old, so it was all really replaced. And like I said, one of the employees. That one. Happy, and I'm happy. as we both side of it, we're doing real great, but we're there, but see, we got a bill from them.
Yeah, so we paid another bill to Spence Brothers for the project, and when we keep paying until they're done. And, what, 10 bucks. There are, the first webinar is next week. So, I mean, there's so many things to say about. Different ways to be involved, whether it's in writing, whether it's all in, whether it's webinar, whether it's in person, covering. Most people,
Yeah, so I wasn't at the last meeting, so maybe you gave the update there, but I'll just say that, we filed our preliminary report and all of you should have received a copy of that, and Rachel has it on the website. I've talked to, the State Historic Preservation Office, and we are on their calendar in September to go before their board for review. We have scheduled our public review here, our public hearing for September 1st at 5:30 p.m. So Rachel will be doing public notice on that, mid-August. And I have another follow-up phone call with SHPO in August, because Haley hadn't had a chance to look at anything yet. So we're going to talk in August before the board review. And then hopefully, she said they'll get their comments back to us by October. And we'll be able to incorporate them and any comments we receive from local folks, and then maybe get it back to you guys in November, is what we're hoping. So WU received a local news grant. A couple of interns right now. Jack Webb is one of our interns. And Carol Ann Carlin, who's 14, is our second intern for the first 4-week period. And so you may be getting some phone calls from them because they're filing little news briefs for us and following up on local stories. So please be kind to them. Yeah, you're doing a great job so far. At the Gilmore Township meeting, they had a little bit of discussion about what the impact would be if the headway reset doesn't pass. They're looking at losing $44,000 in operating revenue from that. And I don't know, did Katie give Elberta a number on what we lose? No.
She's not gonna give you.
Yeah. Okay, I was wondering. So that's a number for you to call. I also brought up with them, you know, they don't have, and we don't have that I've seen any election information on our website or on our social media. And because early voting starts on the 25th and it's in a different location than people are used to, it would be nice to, there's a flyer over there that they made, and I'll get it digitally and I'll send it to the office, but it'd be nice to post that probably on the website and on social media so people can find that information easily. Friends of Edna, the Alberta Dunes National Area, we were supposed to have a walkabout with the Grand Traverse Regional Land Conservancy representative this morning, but because of smoke, it got canceled. So we're looking to reschedule that probably the morning of July 3rd. So if there's anyone who's interested in doing that with us, he's just going to kind of give us some ideas for setting a maintenance plan for the coming year for Edna. And I'm also looking for members of the steering committee for the Friends of Edna. So if anyone really loves that park and would like to get more involved, let me know. With the Historic District Study Committee public hearing, and maybe for the zoning ordinance too, I don't know if you are planning any mailings coming up like before September. But it might be nice, because we have it on the website, but how many people actually go to the website, and how many people are gonna know that's happening in last week? I don't know. So if you have a mailing going out, and maybe you could mention that there will be a public hearing for the Historic District Study Committee, and maybe even that, people have a chance to finally make comments on the zoning ordinance if they haven't looked at it yet. It might be nice to include those things, just to make sure we.